Market structure is the language of price. My name is Mazi FX. I'm a trader, a businessman, and my goal is to simplify forex trading for my audience. So you can join my live stream on TikTok, my morning session and evening session. Morning I use it for Outlook, then evening session I teach. So click the link on my bio to join my Telegram community so that you don't miss when next I am coming live on TikTok. When you understand the language of market, which is market structure, you can easily tell the current phase of the market, whether market is trending up or market is trending down or market is currently in a range. What is market phase and structure? Market moves in three phases. At any time frame you're using to view the market is doing either one of these three things. Is either the market is moving like this, this is clearly a range. Because here I can see a low, a high, a higher low, a higher high. Then all of a sudden, market creates a lower low. Then create a higher high, a higher low, a lower high, a lower low. You can see a lower high, a higher low, a higher high. Now, when you see market moving like this, moving sideways or ranging, you are not supposed to engage because at that moment, market is trying to choose side. Market is trying to either go up or go down. At this phase, it is assumed that buyers and sellers are equal. So what is happening? Market will just be in a range until market moves in one direction and chooses who it wants to side. And this is what we call a breakout. At this phase, we call it a breakout phase. It's either the market breaks to the upside or the market breaks to the downside. Because it's finding it difficult to choose where it's going to at this point. So your job is to wait because they say the trend is your friend. This is the language that market is speaking at every point in time. Anytime from you use to view your chart, this is what you're seeing. It's either the market is accumulating, ranging, moving sideways, or the market is trending up or trending down. Now, we now know what a ranging market is. Now, what is the trending market? A trending market is market that is moving in just one direction, either up or down. Now, how do you know a trending market? Even when others have not seen it, you started seeing signs that this market is trending. What does the market give you? It gives you a high, a higher low, a higher 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 high, a higher low. You get? Now, look at it. Simple English is not as if it's something complicated. Just as the name implies, this high is higher than this high. 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 That is why it's called a higher high. This high is higher than this high, higher high. This low is higher. This low is higher than this low, higher low. This high is higher than this low, higher low. This high is higher than this low, higher low. It tells you at this point I am trending. What am I doing? I am moving high, creating new highs and creating higher lows, meaning market is moving up. So now what is your best bet in this case? You just you look for any of these zones and take a buy from this high to this low will be your dealing range. You look for a point where price will reverse from. At this point, this high, this low will be your dealing range. You look for a point where price will reverse from. That is what you should be doing. In this case, you are only buying. Let me show you guys a downtrending market. A downtrending gives you a low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, and a lower low. That is how it keeps moving. That is how it keeps moving. And as the name implies, it's nothing complicated, just simple English. This low is lower than this low. This low is lower than this low. They call it lower low. This low, lower than this low, lower low, This low, lower than this low, lower low. This high is lower than this high. They call it lower high. This high is lower than this other high, lower high. This high is lower than this high, lower high. This is what market what this is the language market is speaking to you. And if you pay attention and understand these particular details, you've been able to solve at least 30 to 40% of your problem, because you no longer guess which phase the market is in. You can clearly see it from how the candlesticks are printing. Now let's go into the chart. Let me show you guys chart example. We can clearly see that market from this point moved all the way to this point, drops this low, gives a higher high, a higher low, gives a higher high, and eventually give us a lower high, then moved again and corrected it by giving us a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, then did this again and give us a higher high. We can clearly see what an uptrending market is. Though it is not looking perfect, you don't always expect it to look perfect. But the bottom line is just understand the idea, what price is telling you. Here is a high, see, a low, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low. Let's mark it all the way to this point. A higher high, a higher low. You see, a higher high, a higher low, and a higher high. We can clearly see that this market is in a phase of uptrend. It's currently in a phase of uptrend. Now let's look at the downtrending market. You can clearly see it here. At this point here, the market left a high, give us a low, a high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low. Okay. Yeah. A lower low, give us a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low. Then did came here, gave us a higher high, then still continued again, printing all lows and lower highs, lower low, lower highs, lower low. It's simple. The market tells you its current phase. You don't need guesswork. Look at here. We can see this high, low, high, low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. See, uptrend, downtrend, uptrend. Let's look for a ranging market. I can clearly see one here. This is a ranging market. So in this point, you have to be out of the market because you don't even know what the market is doing. It has not chosen any direction. You just get out. You can see the difference. Here is ranging and here is trending. Ranging, trending. Let's look for another range example. And one thing you should have at the back of your mind is the market is always doing one of these three things. It's either the market is ranging or the market is trending. Market cannot do two things at a time. It cannot. It can never do two things at a time. It's either it is ranging or it is trending. And most times, the trends are always larger than the range. So why should you be trading a ranging market? When you know that when a trend starts, it's going to last for a long time. You shouldn't be found trading a ranging market. Yeah, I can clearly see a range. Look at it. This is a range. This is another ranging market. Let's look for more ranging markets. Okay, I can see another range here also. This is a ranging market. This is a ranging market. So don't trade a range, only trade trending market. This is also a ranging market. See, this is a ranging market. So I believe by now you can tell the difference between a ranging market and a trending market. Thank you for watching, guys, and see you on my next video clip.